Wednesday, October 31st, and it is Halloween. I just wanted to quickly show you my Halloween costume. I am Tinkerbell. So I got a poster a few years ago from a comic book convention that was Post-Apocalyptic Princesses by Tess Fowler, and one of the characters was Tinkerbell, and this isn't quite the same costume, and I call it a few different things. The first year I wore it, somebody said I was Air Force Fairy. This year one of the kids was like, well, you look like Tinkerbell when she's going on adventures, so I'm Adventure Time Tinkerbell. But this is what it is. I have the wings, which I got at the thrift store, and then I just covered with brown paper, and then the little hat, pilot hat with my steampunk goggles, and then around my waist I've just got a bag, which has come in handy because this skirt does not have pockets. So I was able to put everything I needed in it, and then I have another little bag. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's in the frame. But this is my costume. So today has been a, fairly typical Halloween, just crazy day. We got here in the morning and got all the kids in. One of my kids was dressed up like a T-Rex in one of those inflatable suits, which was really adorable. But it was like he came in and I'm like, all right, well, obviously you're not going to be able to sit down, but so just go stand behind your desk so I can take roll. And they're excited and they're yelling and they're looking at costumes and they're running around. And I'm just like, no, go to your seats. And so I finally got them at their seats. I was able to take roll. And then we went out to go to the parade where, they gave us a map and they told us where to stand. And then so I go and stand there, and almost immediately they come over and they're like, all right, well, you need to be on the other side because everyone's going to come in over there. And I was like, well, if everyone's going to come in on the other side, nobody's going to be able to see the parade because you start with preschool, and preschool walks around twice, and then junior kindergarten joins them, and then kindergarten, so they're all going to be marching, and we're going to be in a big mob waiting to go on. Well, they eventually decided that wasn't what we were going to do, so we just stay in, and they had caution tape up, and then we just ducked under the caution tape and started walking around. And the kid got the T-Rex costume deflated while we were waiting, but luckily the kid's mom was still there, so they reinflated it for the parade, and we were able to go out and do it. We came back, and most of the kids themselves decided they wanted to change out of their costumes. Some of them, they just were regular clothes. Like I have one girl, I don't know who she is. I'm so out of touch with I thought I knew what the cartoons were and stuff, but I have no idea. And she explained who it was, and I still have no idea who she was. But it was a really cute little costume. It had a backpack with soda bottles on the back, and then she had a paint roller, and she was sprayed purple, and she had goggles. And I was like, you know what, take the backpack off, put the paint roller away, which her sister took it for her. You can just stay in costume. But a lot of the girls who were wearing the big, the bell dresses or the angel dresses, they took those off. A lot of the boys wanted to take their costumes off. I have one boy who I knew, if he could, he would come every day. He's and this one I know, and I can't think of what the names are right now, but if he could come as this character, he would every day, because he's either always bringing the toys to school, or it's on his backpack, or he's drawing pictures. He draws pictures of that, or he always draws pictures of Unikitty from the Lego movie. Doesn't matter what, we'll be doing writing, and he's writing about a time that he was scared, and then he draws Princess Unikitty. And that's his picture, or the PJ mask, I think it's called. So I knew I wasn't going to get the costume off him, but I did say he had to take off the mask and he had to take off the gloves. And then he decided himself to take off the tail because he didn't want to lose it, because it was just Velcroed on. So we did that. So that took a the good chunk of the morning. We came back. I had them read silently and take AR tests while they were changing out of their costumes. I had one kid who had to redo the test from yesterday. I actually had two kids, but I forgot one of them was absent, and that came up later. And then we started doing our regular lesson, which was dividing words into syllables, 2 syllables, open and closed syllables. So we went over that, and after recess we came back, and some of my kids went to their iPad intervention group. So I continued working with the group I had on open and closed syllables, and I was like, you know what? Maybe, we'll do the workbook page, but I wonder if there's a Kahoot that is on open and closed syllables. So I looked, and there was, there had some that weren't open and closed that were another kind of syllable, but I was like, it's fine. Most of them are what I need. Some of the words were even the ones that we were doing in the book. So we did that Kahoot, and then we had some extra time, so we did a Kahoot on verbs, which is what we've been learning. And then the rest of the kids came back, and they saw that we were doing Kahoot, so I was like, okay, let's do another one. So I found a Halloween Kahoot that was on subtraction. So we did the Halloween Kahoot, and they had lots of fun. Then we did our math pre-test. On Grader, our new standard is I can compare numbers, 3-digit numbers, by using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal to. So I just took a quick little assessment to see if they knew what the signs were and how they were doing. I did go over the test with them because I wanted them to see how to do the last problem, because the last problem is really complicated and it's going to come up again and again. So I want them to know how to do it. And then I let them play that Halloween bump game, which was good, and they just sat there and played. But that was when, while they were doing that, I was entering the tests in the grade book, and that's when I realized that there was another student absent yesterday. So I was like, I'm so sorry, but I need you to take this test. So he's actually doing really well on it. He's done the top part, which was just counting by 2s, 5s, 10s, and 100s, and now he's on the more challenging questions. So we're gonna come back in. I don't know if we're gonna do grammar, because technically we did grammar with that identifying verbs. It's not what we're doing for verbs right now, but I almost think the problem is I don't want to teach. I just want to give them things to color and have them color it and just sort of keep the crazy as much as down as I can, but I can't do that because that would be wrong. So I'm thinking though that in the grand interest of things, it might just be better to do our grammar lesson tomorrow, because tomorrow is usually a review day. Thursday is usually our review day where we go back and review a previous standard. And I think that I might just do the grammar lesson tomorrow, and then today we'll just do writing. We'll finish up our fall art. I have color pages for the kids who are done with their fall art, and then hand out Wednesday folders, hand out conference slips, and then at 1 o'clock we'll have our party. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So the day's been good so far. It's hectic, it's moving along fast, and I will catch up with you again after school. Hey everyone, I'm back. I survived to the end of the day. It was a little bit of a struggle. Just they were so hyper when they came in from recess or from lunch. The kids were bouncing off the walls, super excited. I finally got them sat down. I decided what I was going to do is we had some comprehensions questions that we needed to get started on for our story this week, and I decided to go ahead and try that. We got through 2. It was so hard wrangling them in. So I was going to do writing, but at the last second I just decided that I wasn't going to get any quality writing out from them. Maybe I could have had them do a story in their journals or something, but I was overwhelmed at that point too. So I did want to get their fall trees finished, so that's what I told them to do, is just take out their fall tree. And those of the students that were done, I gave them a coloring page. I had done a word search and I lost it, and I think I just remembered where I put it, so I'll have to put that aside for next year. So I gave them some coloring pages and they worked on that. Then parents started to come with tons and tons of food. Luckily, this is the first year I've had a lot of parents stay. Usually I've just had parents not come at all, or a couple parents drop things off. But I had like 5 or 6 parents stay, so they helped me hand out everything. They sat with the kids. I did put on the story, or the movie Room on a Broom, or Room on the Broom on Netflix, because the kids, I read that story earlier in the month and the kids loved it, and they've been telling me, I watched it on Netflix. So I decided to put it on. Unfortunately, the sound is really bad, so they couldn't hear it. But I told them, hey, we've got this new TV. As soon as I figure out how to work it, and as soon as they hook it up to Apple TV, we'll be able to watch our next movie on the TV. So, but they were just in general excited, and they put their costumes back on, they ate their food, and then we packed up and went home. And I've just been doing planning for our next chapter with my co-teacher. So, yeah, I am pretty much done with the day. I'm doing lesson planning for next week. So I'll just go ahead and walk you a little bit through how I do that. I don't do anything too fancy. Especially for language arts, I do pretty much follow what's going on in the book. So next week we're reading the story Jellies, which is a nonfiction story. I always start with, I don't know if I'm going to do fluency next week. I haven't been doing it, but I do have to test fluency. I need to start testing fluency really quickly. So yeah, I'll have to put aside time. I think next week, I'll do it next week when we would be doing writing. Hoping everyone gets done with their writing today and tomorrow, and then I'll just test fluency during that time and have students who are done with their fluency or done with their writing do another activity, probably typing lessons or coding on the computer, on the iPads, I mean. Okay, so I start by looking at phonics. Our phonics for next week is contraction. So we are going to be forming and using contractions. Form and use contractions. And now I'm going to go to my big binder of stuff and see if I have any resources on contractions in here, which I'm moving everything. Did have everything in no, I don't. In a sheet protector, which was in a file folder, but it's since got too big, so I just have everything here. So I have nothing on contractions here, but I know I have things on contractions somewhere else. But day 1 and day 2, I'm pretty much just going to follow the book and follow how to teach it, and then I'll make an anchor chart on contractions. I'll find, there's lots of them on Teachers Pay Teachers. Actually, I'm going to check right now and see if I bought anything on Teachers Pay Teachers on contractions. Let's see. So I'm going to my purchases because I have resources all over the place. So I do have some cut and paste activities, so I'll have to track those down because I like doing cut and paste with the kids. All right, so then we'll write contractions, form and use contractions, we'll write contractions, and then we'll do vocabulary. So I'm going to pull my vocabulary out. Here is from last year. Our first word is going to be choices, and then the word decides. Okay. And then we are going to read Jellies and ask and answer questions about the text. And I think I'm probably going to pull out my anchor chart and have them actually write their questions on Post-its and put it on the wall, on the anchor chart. And then as we go through, we'll answer those questions. And then grammar, we're forming verbs in the past tense. By adding ed. And I should have a PowerPoint already made on that. So let me check. Jellies, grammar, yes. So I have, we're also going to be doing comparatives and superlatives apparently. And suffixes, oh that must be, okay, so we're doing suffixes. Okay, so I'm all set for that's my day 1. Day 2, so I like to go through all my language arts first. Day 2, we will do fluency and high frequency words. So we are reading and building. So we're continuing on with contractions. So this is probably the day I'll do that cut and paste activity that I have somewhere. So
Oh, I do have a contraction surgery somewhere. Was that free? Did I misspell contractions? Contractions cut and paste. But I remember last year we did surgery because I have Band-Aids that I bought, and we cut apart the, I mean, we did it at the end of the year. So I have that somewhere. I'll have to figure out where I put that. Because that was a really fun activity to do. So we had a, come on, I'm trying to get to, there we go. Nope. I'm trying to get back to my documents. We did, I know this is probably really weird. There it is, Contraction Surgery Center. I knew I had it. Okay, so we will do that one of the days. Oh, great, I just crashed my computer. So that means I'm going to do it right this year. We're going to have face masks. We're going to have name tags. I have to print this all out at home because it needs to be in color, but okay. So yeah. Oh, except are these with have and not? Because we're doing contractions with not, will, is, and are, and am. All right, so I'll look through this later. I'll look through that at home where I print it again, even though I'm almost out of color ink, but I have more. All right, so what we're gonna do contraction surgery one of these days. Oh, it's already open. I'm like, why won't my Google Chrome open? Okay, so then we're going to reread. Oh, vocabulary. We're doing the words disgusting and drift. And then we're going to reread jellies, and this is where the book is going to, yeah. So the book wants us to do fact and opinion because they say it is the standard where authors support their reasoning with, I don't know, with statements or I don't remember what the standard is right now. I disagree that that's what fact and opinion is. However, I do think fact and opinion is important. So we're going to reread jellies. We're probably not going to reread the whole story. We might listen to it actually. And then we're going to identify fact and opinion. And I already have an anchor chart made. And it's so hard. You know, fact is a statement that can be proven, and an opinion describes how someone thinks or feels. So I already have that anchor chart. I know it's not an anchor chart, it's a poster. Anchor charts are something that kids work on. So I have that poster, and then I made last year this, where I took facts and opinions from the book and I put them into a cut and paste, and then we cut and paste that onto the fact and opinion chart. So we're going to do that. I don't think we're going to do that on Tuesday. I think on Tuesday we're going to maybe do fact and opinion on Post-its, go through and just put what we think the facts and opinions are. And then on Wednesday, we'll do the actual cut and paste. I think that's what we're going to do. So then in grammar, we are forming future tense. Somebody's having a big party right now. I can hear the loudspeaker. Probably the YMCA is right behind us. And I'm forgetting to change my spelling. I can spell contractions, right? Yeah, contractions. So whatever our phonics skill for the week is also our spelling skill. And we're actually going to be doing lesson 9 for that. Okay, so then ELA on Wednesday, we will, do we have another? No, so we're still doing contractions. So this is the day we're going to do a lot of cut and pasting on. Probably not. So contraction surgery on Wednesday. Vocabulary, we will be doing the word millions, which is not an easy word. Especially I don't like the definition. So we might skip it because we're not doing, that doesn't show up on any test. But I don't know. It's good to know what millions is, but millions is, according to the book, a really big number that means you have more than a million. So yeah, we do have, we're not going to do that comprehension. So on jellies, we're going to read jellies and we're going to cut and paste activity for fact and opinion. Okay, then we're going to write verbs in the present, past, and future tenses. And then spell contractions again. And I'm not changing any of my dates on this. Okay, so then on Thursday, which is day 4, we're going to do some sort of phonics review of some kind. I'll figure out what that looks like. So we're just going to put phonics review on contractions. Then we have to do vocabulary strategies, which are base words. I can use known root words to determine unknown. See if I can spell right. D-T-E-R. Words with the same root. Then what? I don't understand what that means that we're doing. But I understand what it says. Identify and use words with suffixes ER and EST. And that's where I had the... Where did it go? Jellies. This thing. Comparative and superlative assessments. Oh, that's just an assessment. Well, I'll find some interesting. I do have a PowerPoint for it though. Already made. I don't always do PowerPoints for the vocabulary. It tells me what a base word is. Okay, it tells me what the suffix is, what ER and EST means. Last year, I had a question. It was identify the comparison word, base word, and the suffix in each sentence. So the question was, who is the smartest student in the class? And instead of telling me what the word, the comparison word was, they all answered with one of the students' names. So, yeah, that was funny. All right, so I have that. I have an activity to go with it, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Then on Thursday, we will read jellies and ask. I have some comprehension questions that we're going to answer for that. And then spiral review in grammar, which is I can identify singular and plural nouns. And we're still spelling contractions. And then on Friday, we are not taking any tests for this, but I do think I might quiz them on fact and opinion just because it is an important skill, even though it isn't technically a standard. But we are going to review vocabulary. So on the back of my vocabulary packet is just a quick review where it gives a definition and they have to decide between 2 of the vocabulary words from the week. So there's 5 questions. It's really quick. It just gives me, yep, and I don't think I gave them back their vocabulary from last week. Just gives me a quick overview. We're going to finish reading jellies and answering those comprehension questions. And then probably fact and opinion cut and paste that we'll do. I should be taking all of these out, but I'll do that later. Let's see if I can spell comprehension. Either that or we'll do our close reader. What is the close reading story for this week? Splash photography. I think we're going to do our close reader instead. Because it's important for them to to get all those close reading skills. I do like, and it has some text features in it. Not a ton, but it's got some, so we can talk about those text features again. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll take our spelling test after lunch. We'll do our typing skills. So why I have them do typing skills is I have a couple of kids that I need to pull back and test individually because they need me to help them sound out the words. They don't pass the tests. They usually get 1s and 2s, but it's on their IEPs. So the rest of the kids work on typing club while I do that. All right, so that is language arts. So now I'm moving to math. So let me get my math folder, which is an absolute mess right now, as is everything, because I'm just a messy person. Found their vocabulary from last week. This goes here, this goes there. All right, so that's skip counting. I'm on comparing. So there. So this was today. This is tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. So on Monday, I'm doing a number talk. I'll have to, there's my number talk book. So I'll just figure out what number talk I'm doing. Now, let's see. So I'm sick of doubles and near doubles. I want to do making 10. So number talk on making tens. I'm hearing Thriller. It's Halloween. All right, so I'll just start with this one. So we're going to add 7 plus 3, 7 plus 5 plus 3, and then 3 plus 6 plus 7. Then, for our actual lesson, we are doing a comparing numbers activity, which I don't know what that means. Compare 3-digit numbers. Good math. So what is our comparing numbers activity? Is it this? It must be, it must be one of these things. So we got this off of Teachers Pay Teachers, so I'll have to look at this. Probably have to print it off at home so it's in color, but I don't know. Okay, so we'll do that. And then on Tuesday, I'll do another making tens number talk. And we'll do 5 plus 5. Not 5 equals 5. 5 plus 5. 5 plus 6 plus 5. And 5 plus 9 plus 5. And then we're going to do the pre-test for comparing numbers. And we're going to play, let's see if I can spell numbers right, and then we're going to play roll and compare game. Okay, then on Thursday, not Thursday, this is Wednesday, on Wednesday, we're going to do making tens, number talk again, 9 plus 5 plus 1, 8 plus 9 plus 1, and 1 plus 4 plus 9. And then we'll do our summative assessment. for comparing numbers. And then I'm done with this folder. Ah! Mess. It's a mess. Okay. Back. Got everything again. All right. So then on Thursday, I am now in adding. So I'm not going to pre-assess adding 2-digit numbers because I'm finding the pre-assessments really aren't telling me a whole lot. It's not even what groups. It's just not helping me all that much with data. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. We are going to break apart ones to add. Which is Go Math, oops, 4.1. And our number talk, we make tens. Oh, that's kind of perfect because we're moving back into, so we're doing 8 plus 2, 2 plus 4 plus 8, and 8 plus 3 plus 2. All right, Friday, we are going to use compensation to add. And our number talk will be make tens. And we're doing 9 plus 1. Did we already do this one? No. 9 plus 7 plus 1. And 1 plus 6 plus 9. All right. So, ELD. Let me go get my ELD book. All right, so we're doing, that's chipmunk. Yeah, I messed up this week. I went to do vocabulary from How the Chipmunk Got Its Stripes, and instead I pulled vocabulary from last week's story, but I figured, which we hadn't done yet, so I figured since we hadn't done it, that's fine, we'll just do it now. Okay, so we're starting with a collaborative conversation. What is special about animals that live in the ocean? I don't know if I like that question. So what vocabulary words? Oh, you know what they'll have fun? They'll have fun talking about things that are disgusting. So what are some things that are disgusting? They will have lots to say about things that are disgusting, and we'll be able to have really good, we're doing really, really well on our conversations. We're getting up to 3 sentences every single week. And they're, you know, we're still working on, I need to be stricter on them following the collaborative conversation 4 L's, which is look at your partner, lean into your partner, listen to your partner, look, lean, listen. Oh, lower your voice. Lower your voice so you're having a private conversation. I really need to hit those harder. But our group conversations are going really well. Okay, so that's Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to start vocabulary, which is a second set of words that we have just for ELD. So we're going to talk about the word marine, as in marine animal, and predator, which some of the kids already know. Then library, and then why is this all messed up? And then on Wednesday, we will not be having a Halloween parade next Wednesday, and I still need to change the dates. Wednesday we do we have, what's it called, Lexia, which is an iPad computer program intervention, and most of my class goes, and I only have 10 kids left. So I am going to be pulling from, I can't find the book. Have I mentioned I am a mess right now? There are my keys. It's called the Write-In Reader. It looks like this. It's part of the Journeys curriculum, and it gives them a story and then asks them questions at the bottom. So I don't have enough for each student, but I'm gonna make copies and we'll go over that. So we'll do that Wednesday and Friday. Thursday we'll come back and we'll do our next 2 vocabulary words, which are shell and tide. Tide, not T-I-E-D. Okay. So that's math. On Friday we'll do reading comprehension again. All right, so now, I need to change that too. Let me look at science. So we use a program called STEM Scopes for science. Oh, you know what? Let me get my science binder. All right, so my science binder, did that, did Where Do I Live, doing What's My Habitat Tomorrow. Oh, is that it? Let me look. So apparently at some point my camera stopped filming because I was filming way too long. I'm not sure when it stopped, but I did finish doing the rest of my week. I just realized on Friday, after I did all my planning, that next Friday is a minimum day because we are starting parent conferences. So yeah, so that took some of the planning out and added some of the pressure because I've got a ton of stuff that I need to get done for next week. But yeah, so because this is such a long video, that's all I'm going to be filming today. I don't know if I'm going to be vlogging tomorrow and Friday. It'll just sort of depend on how I feel, but I will post this. Please subscribe to my channel to see more content. I think I'm going to be posting at least 2 videos a week detailing my day, and I would love to hear from you, so please leave a comment below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.